I'm Evan Lasky, and I was the accounting intern this summer. I'm from Wethersfield, Connecticut, and I went to South Virginia University in Newport, Rhode Island. And I graduated in May, and I play on the soccer team. I also, before coming here, was an audit intern at Whittlesey, which is a CPA firm in downtown Hartford. My motivation and expectations for this internship, I just really wanted to learn something new other than audit, and I wanted to get a different experience, and that would help me figure out what I want to do in the future. So I work for the financial accounting and reporting team, and Michelle was my manager, and our goal is to do all the quarterly, monthly, and yearly financial statements. And Mahi is the best mentor, and she should have an intern all the time because she's really nice and helpful. And my goal is to help with any and all the reports they wanted me to do over the summer. So some of those reports that I worked on was the MCAS template, which is an annual statement, and it provides a lot of information about claims and premium. I also worked on the portfolio roll forward, which is the investments for all the companies. And I would just check the investment statements that come in a PDF and then tie them out to the Excel worksheet that we have. And I also worked on the MLR calculator, and I put the data into the calculator from other PDFs and an Excel that we have. And then it went to that guy right there, Teddy, and he did his actuarial work on it. And one of the other things I worked on was the CMI statutory reporting, where I took numbers from the trial balance and put them into TCP, which is just an electronic way of putting in numbers. So some challenges and successes that I had. The MCAS was a pretty big challenge because there was a lot of data that we had to go through and figure out where it goes within the template, and that took a while. And I also didn't really know much about insurance accounting, which is the statutory accounting, because they don't really teach you that in school. So it's really just GAAP and IFRS that they teach you. But some successes that I had, I learned how to use pivot tables and VLOOKUP. And I also feel like I had a lot of meaningful work over the summer that was really important towards the accounting department. So what I learned to take notes, because one time Mahi called me not taking notes and she called me out, and I had to go back and ask her for more help when I could have just taken notes and wrote it all over. And I also learned that you should take time to learn what you're doing, because it's more meaningful if you learn what you're doing rather than just doing something and not knowing what you're doing. And then I also learned about the statutory accounting, which I thought was really interesting compared to just learning about IFRS and GAAP. So for the future, I'm going to get my master's degree at Southern next year and playing soccer again. And I hope to be a CPA in the future. We'll see how that goes, because it's going to be tough. And lastly, I hope to find a job somewhere, because that's what you have to do for the rest of your life. So, yeah. All right. That's good stuff.